The images of that day 6 months ago are difficult to wipe clean. The devastation of the Eaton Fire as it swept through the community of Altadena.
Thousands of homes, businesses, and churches leveled. Nothing but ash remaining there. 18 people lost their lives. And while the community pushes forward to rebuild, some of the toughest times remain ahead.
NBC4's Dickerson live in Altadena with some of the challenges survivors here are now facing. Karma.
Yes, hundreds were actually gathering here today in Altadena, many of them stopping at the map just over my shoulder. What's notable about that map, every dot in red represents a home that was destroyed by the Eaton Fire. So that gives you a sense of just how widespread that impact was, that footprint right here in this community. So hundreds were out for this event. We're showing you some video of it now. And really, they tell us that you might be surprised to hear that they say that their biggest barrier to coming home has been their battles with insurance companies. So today's event was as much about marking 6 months as it was about demanding accountability from those providers. The event organizers displayed posters they say reflect the mishandling of their insurance claims. And while thousands lost all or part of their homes to the fire, even some people whose homes didn't burn have still been displaced for the last 6 months. Here's one woman's story.
This is what it's come to for Wendy Davis.
Hi, Karma. I'm Wendy.
She is so fed up after the last 6 months that she was waiting for our NBC4 crew outside of her home with a waiver.
So first thing, a little housekeeping.
She wanted to make abundantly clear she was waiving her privacy rights.
I waived my rights and they could talk to you about my specific claim.
Removing any barrier for us to get answers from State Farm Insurance.
And so it sounds like you want to make very clear that the insurance company
Can answer your questions about my claim.
Why is that?
Because I think they hide behind privacy and they don't give any details.
She would know. Wendy is a retired attorney who specializes in contracts, trained to haggle over fine print. But she says the back and forth with State Farm Insurance since January 7th has worn her down.
It's like a daily trauma.
A first glance at Wendy's home, and it's hard to see what's gone so wrong. Because, well, she still has her entire home.
So what's the problem?
The smoke damage.
But 6 months after the Eaton Fire came within blocks of her, Wendy says it's still not safe to live in parts of her house.
That bedroom down there had asbestos in the soot and ash.
Several rooms of the homes continue to test positive for asbestos. Wendy showed us the rooms that have been cleared so far. She said from the outset she had a fight on her hands from State Farm, who initially tried to deny her claim, despite the asbestos testing results she showed us.
So anything over 10 seems to be very concerning to me, and we're at 16.
What's followed, she says, has been months of stalling and stonewalling.
I had to beg to get somebody to even answer the phone for the first month. I had 5 adjusters in a month.
It's left Wendy and her husband with maxed out credit cards and still without a stable roof over their heads, going from friends and family's homes to short-term rentals and hotels.
We've moved, I lose track, but I think it's 14, 15 times.
When we asked about Wendy's claim, State Farm sent a statement saying, in part, we have been actively working with our customer to provide them with claim payments in alignment with all the benefits they're entitled to under their policy.
I just want to live here, even if we have rudimentary stuff. I just want to be home.
She said she was finally able to track down a State Farm executive, which she believes led to her claim being handled with more urgency. But the asbestos cleanup itself is proving stubborn. Wendy hopes the most recent round of abatement will be enough to get her back into her home.
It will probably be 3 weeks, probably at the minimum, because once they clean, we'll test again, and the tests take about 10 days.
In the meantime, she says she's still negotiating with State Farm to cover her hotel stays. What she wants from the company, she says, is simple.
Just take care of us like you say you will when we buy your policy.
And State Farm's statement about Wendy's claim went on to say, we're committed to consistently providing every customer all the benefits they have available through their policy. We're happy to address any questions or concerns with our policyholder directly. And so Wendy says she continues to try to get those answers, but it has been difficult. And she says she often gets a runaround, and so she's hoping she's coming to the end of it. In terms of what the massive group of people out here are calling for, they are calling for some accountability from lawmakers. They're looking for lawmakers to hold State Farm and other insurers accountable. Specifically, they're saying no more rate hikes until these Eaton Fire claims are covered. Reporting live, Dickerson, NBC4 News.